Ooh, shiny spider. Shiny spider. Sad GTV6. Anyway, we're not here to talk about these. What we're here to talk about is this Mother's CMX ceramic spray coating. I think I'm at a point where I can talk about this, give my impressions, review what I think. I've done 3 vehicles now with it. And I've done 3 vehicles in, we'll say, 3 different stages of paint condition. So that gives me a pretty good idea of how this works on a wide variety of paint surfaces, cleanliness, etc. I've used a few different ways to applicate it, dry and wet, and different type of applicators. And I think I've got a pretty good handle on what works real well with this product and what what presents a little bit of a challenge. But overall, it's it actually is pretty easy to apply. So let's take a look at the 3 cars we've got here, and we'll talk about what we use and how we did it. So first off, we've got the Spider. Now the Spider has brand new paint. The paint on this car is only 2 months old. No, maybe a little bit longer. But anyway, this car was clayed a couple weeks ago. And then after I clayed it, I then put the ceramic coating on, or the spray coating on, instead of wax, because I just wanted to see how it went on. And I like to use the backs of my fingers because there's usually no oil or anything on them. Make sure they're clean, but clean and dry. But if you drag your fingers across the surface, it almost, it just feels like a new pane of glass. It's very smooth. There's no resistance. It's like ball bearings. Very smooth, glides right across the surface. But again, this car it's got a brand new paint job. It's been freshly clayed, so it should feel like that. Now on this car, I applied it with the microfiber towel that was supplied with the spray. And I tried it in 2 ways. In the front of the car, I sprayed it directly to the applicator, spread it, and basically it dries to a really fine haze, almost to where you can't see it. And then I just came back with a polishing cloth and just took up the residue, and that was it. Very easy. I put it on dry. It went on easy. It came off easy, and seemingly it's stuck, because there was definitely a little bit, there was a difference in how the surface felt and appeared. Now I am in my garage and there's only fluorescent LED lighting above, so it's not the best representation. In the sun, the light is very deep. The paint looks very deep. So it definitely, the areas on the car where I didn't apply it before I tested it. So I put some on like the hood and then left the tops of the fenders bare, went out in the sun and wanted to see the difference. There was a difference. I've done the whole car in the ceramic. So, so the whole car has been done and it all feels very glass-like, very shiny. So I'm very happy with that. And that went on dry because I don't wash this car with soap and water. I don't drive it in the rain, etc. On the Prius out there, that car was clayed and fully detailed in the spring. So let's go out there and take a look. And with that car, the Prius, I put it on wet. So when the car was wet, I used the microfiber. I sprayed the ceramic onto the surface of the microfiber and then just rubbed it into the wet surface, right into the water. And I just kept doing that. And then I came back with a drying towel. You can get these actually at Harbor Freight. These are one of my favorite things. It's a very plush, thick microfiber, and you can dry off a good sized vehicle with just one pass with this. It just soaks up water. And when they're new and dry and clean, they actually make really nice polishing towels. So I like to keep one of these in the trunk of the Alpha, so when we go to car shows and stuff, I can just kind of give it a quick wipe down. But toweled the Prius and my work truck off with this, and then when that dried to a haze, the ceramic, I then just came back with a polishing cloth and just took the haze off. So let's go take a look at the cars. And what's nice is the sun has actually moved, so you can see. So you can see this car was clayed in the springtime, so it's been a few months. It's rained. We're in the Seattle area, so of course it rains a lot, even in the summertime. But coming back, so today I washed the car, and then I applied the ceramic spray, and you could feel the car's, it's got some grit in the paint. Because just over the course of the last few months, she does drive this car on the freeway and stuff, so it's picked up some grit. It's not terrible. But again, I put it on wet. It dried to a haze. The front of the car was in the sun. The hood down was in the sun when I did it. And it actually went on very easily, even in the sunlight directly. And then in the areas that were in the shade, I put it on, and it went on just as easy, dried just the same, came off just as easy. So it actually, whether it's in the sunlight or in the shade, it goes on pretty similar, it dries pretty similar, and it comes off again pretty similar. So it's actually very easy to work with. Now on the truck, this truck is a 2014 Ford, and it has never been clayed. It's just been waxed occasionally. So the surface on this is pretty gritty. It's pretty rough. It's not great. So I was interested in how it would work on this. But I washed it, did a quick dry. On part of the truck, half the truck I dried it and applied, and then half the truck I applied it wet. And it basically goes on, comes off very similar, very easy. It works out well. So I've got my hose here, so I can give it a spray, and you can see how it beads. So this is just one application, just one. This is the side I believe I went on wet, and you can see the water beads up really nicely. Even when you get across the surface here, where it just kind of oversprays, look at those beads. I mean, they're tiny, tiny little beads of water. And then this side I put on, I think it was dry. And you can see the same thing. Water beads up real nice, just kind of wipes away. So I brought my towel with me so you can see it just, and it just wipes right up. Very nice, no streaks, nothing like that. So and what's amazing, like I said, is when you get even way up in here where it's just overspray, it's beaded, and they're just like little tiny little beads. So you can see, you got your big beads here, and then on the overspray area, tiny little beads. Instead of it being like a sheet of water just sitting there, it all just clumps into the smallest beads possible. So I'm actually pretty pleased and surprised at how well this product does work. I'll come back and dry this off in a few. Let's get back in here. It is a little bit pricier than your normal your normal bottle of spray wax or whatever, which, those can be $8, $9, $10. This stuff runs, I believe, anywhere from $15 to $25. I got this on sale. I had a coupon. I had a rebate. I had all the things necessary to get the best price possible. I think I ended up paying like $12 when it was all said and done with my coupons and all that stuff. And I know there is a McGuire's equivalent product, and that's also, $20, $25 for a bottle. But also the good thing, a little goes a long way. I've done 3 cars with this, and there is probably about 3/4 of the bottle left over. So this would go, as I drop it, this will actually go quite a long way. I could see easily doing, I'd probably put another coat on the Alpha. I would probably do another coat on the Prius. In the work truck, I wouldn't really worry about. But I could see this easily, especially on the Alpha, doing it once a year and going out all throughout the summer and the occasional winter drive when it's dry outside. And I could see this, having its benefit, especially on those dewy mornings where, you might get some water collection on a partially or on a seldom driven car. But on a daily driver, it'll be interesting, especially when it rains, how it comes off and how the car looks after it's been driven in the rain a little bit. But that's that. Anyway, like I said, pretty easy to apply. Not really much. It's pretty foolproof. You can put it on wet. You can put it on dry. Microfibers are your best friend in this case. Make sure they're dry and clean and all that good stuff. Actually, not even dry, they can be wet. I keep forgetting that. And actually, I would say that putting it on wet yielded a little bit better result than putting it on dry. That is just my impression, because I did it wet on the Prius and I did half the truck wet, and I'm happier with how it came out on the wet, which is odd because we're always so used to detailing and cleaning and doing all the polishing dry. So to put something on a wet car just seems counterintuitive, but it actually works very well. So I give it a thumbs up. If you can snag it on sale at your local auto parts store, like I said, if you can get it for like 15 bucks, it's a good buy. Little goes a long way, so you definitely get a good money value out of it, which is nice. And that's it. Enjoy. I'm going to go wipe down the truck and get inside and have a cold beer. It's beer 30. Cheers, guys. Have fun.